In 2001, network TV was all over the place. The Friends were still on top, reality TV was just getting started, and every major network was scrambling to launch the next big thing. Be it supernatural, legal, dramatic, or just plain weird. Some of those shows made it. These, well, didn't. From haunted hospitals and werewolf towns to a prequel nobody asked for, and a spin-off that accidentally predicted world events. These are 10 failed TV shows of 2001. The strange, ambitious, and forgotten series that crashed and burned in spectacular fashion. I will not be including sitcoms today because I covered those in a dedicated video, and I'll leave a link in the description. Number 10, The Education of Max Bickford. CBS had high hopes for The Education of Max Bickford, casting Oscar winner Richard Dreyfuss in the lead role. He played Max, a college professor and recovering alcoholic, trying to rebuild his life while teaching at a women's college in Massachusetts.
If you want your parents to pay $100,000 for college so that you can buy papers off the internet, I can't stop you.
Dreyfuss was coming off the TV movie the day Reagan was shot, and this show aimed to be his big return to weekly television. It even got a prime slot, 8 p.m. Sunday nights right after 60 Minutes. But that prestige placement didn't last long. Within weeks, ratings dropped and CBS quietly fired 2 producers. Officially, they called it creative adjustments, but that usually just translates to we're scrambling. But here's the thing, critics liked it. They called it intelligent and praised the supporting cast. But as a viewer, it was kind of a slog. Dreyfuss narrating in real time somehow made things feel slower, not deeper.
The one thing that Skylar didn't know was right in his life was his kid.
To make matters worse, CBS kept bumping it for other shows. Touched by an Angel, Survivor finales, you name it. After 22 episodes and not much momentum, Max Bickford quietly flunked out and didn't return for season 2. Number 9, First Years.
Joe, how can you talk about the boss like that?
Well, he pays me to. I mean, he pays me to berate him. He pays me to remind him what an immoral excuse for men's genitalia he really is.
Okay, that is sick.
I know. I do it for free.
First Years is an American remake of the cult British drama, This Life. The premise? 5 young lawyers sharing a house in San Francisco trying to balance courtroom chaos with personal drama. Think Friends meets The Practice, but with less charm and fewer laughs.
I'm back letting that vindictive, cold-hearted, she-devil, spawn of Satan suck my bank account dry. We're filing a complaint.
The cast was promising. Mackenzie Aston, Ken Marino, Samantha Mathis, Sydney Tamia Portier, and a pre-psych James Roday. But good casting only gets you so far when you're scheduled against Everybody Loves Raymond and Ally McBeal on a Monday night. After just 3 episodes, the ratings were in freefall. NBC panicked. Episode 3, titled There's No Place Like Homo, was the last straw.
You think it should be higher on the wall?
I think it should be lower in a drawer.
The show was yanked from the schedule and replaced with reruns of Law & Order and Dateline. Number 8, Pasadena. Before The White Lotus made Mike White a household name, he created Pasadena, a moody, twisty drama that aired on Fox in the fall of 2001. The story centers on Lily McAllister, a teenager living a privileged life among Pasadena's elite.
Lily, someday you'll realize that when you come from our family, everyone knows who you are.
Until a murder in her family's mansion kicks off a mystery involving long-buried secrets and a tangled web of lies. Sounds juicy, right? Well, viewers didn't think so. Despite having a pilot directed by Diane Keaton and a sharp, stylish tone, the show failed to gain any traction. Pasadena got stomped in the ratings by Reba on the WB every single week. Fox aired just 4 episodes before pulling the plug, leaving 9 episodes unaired. Even with star power and high-end pedigree, Pasadena was gone faster than Speedy Gonzales. Number 7, Big Apple. Big Apple was CBS's bold attempt to break into the prestige cop drama space. The show followed 2 NYPD detectives, Mooney, played by Ed O'Neill, and Trout, played by Jeffrey Pierce, as they teamed up with the FBI to solve a murder tied to organized crime. Ed O'Neill in a gritty crime drama? Yep.
They think they're going to dress me down for doing my job?
This was a major departure from Al Bundy, and honestly, he was pretty solid. The series was clearly designed to go head-to-head with NBC's ratings monster ER. But despite its ambition and a dark, slow-burn tone, Big Apple just didn't catch on.
Fitting right in. What a love fest.
Viewers didn't bite. CBS pulled the plug after airing 6 of its 8 produced episodes. The last 2 didn't see the light of day until 2008, when they aired quietly in syndication on Universal HD. It had pedigree, mood, and a solid cast. Number 6, Philly. From TV heavyweight Stephen Bochco, the mind behind NYPD Blue and LA Law, came Philly, a legal drama starring Kim Delaney as Kathleen McGuire, a tough defense attorney juggling high-stakes cases, courtroom drama, and single motherhood.
Well, if screwing in a closet's your idea of a first date, what are you doing tonight?
She ran a small Philadelphia law firm with her partner Will, played by Tom Everett Scott, sparred professionally with her ex-husband, who just so happened to be a prosecutor, and started a romantic fling with a judge, played by James Denton, pre-Desperate Housewives. On paper, Philly had everything: a strong female lead, complex legal battles, relationship drama, and the Bochco name behind it. But somehow, none of it stuck. Despite a full 22-episode season, Philly struggled in the ratings from day one, and quietly wrapped up in May 2002 without a second season. It wasn't a total disaster, it just never made a compelling enough case to keep viewers tuned in. Number 5, Ponderosa.
You see, you've been branded Hoss.
Hoss? What's that supposed to mean?
You see, what you do can come around and bite you right in.
What Adam is trying to say, Hoss?
Yeah, Hoss.
No, wait just a minute.
I'm afraid it's too late. Hoss.
I'm gonna get you for this, Adam. I'll find you and then...
Still Hoss.
Oh, not you too, Mom.
That's right, Hoss.
Yeah, that's Ponderosa as in Bonanza, the prequel. Set 10 years before the classic Western, this series followed a younger Ben Cartwright as he tried to raise his 3 sons, Adam, Hoss, and a not-quite-grown little Joe.
Don't worry, little Joe. Little Joe?
Little Joe. You know, I like the sound of that. It's got a ring, don't you think?
On a rough patch of land that would one day become the iconic Ponderosa Ranch. It had horses, heart, and heritage, but unfortunately, not much of an audience. Ponderosa premiered on PAX, and while producer Beth Sullivan originally planned to shoot around Los Angeles, the network moved production to Australia to cut costs. Ironically, one of the reasons the show ended up being so expensive. Despite its connection to one of the most beloved TV shows of all time, Ponderosa failed to rope in viewers. After just 1 season, the show was canceled, leaving the Cartwrights to ride off into the Australian sunset. Number 4, Night Visions. Before Black Mirror or American Horror Story, there was Night Visions, a short-lived horror anthology series on Fox that delivered 2 twisted tales per episode, each exploring the supernatural or the darker corners of human nature. It had a cool, creepy tone and some decent production value. But what really made it stand out, the host, music icon Henry Rollins. He served as the Rod Serling-style narrator.
We amend the proverb to read, "Hell hath no fury, like a dead woman scorned."
Although oddly he went uncredited the entire time because nothing says mystery like Henry Rollins looming in the shadows, refusing a title card. Despite its ambitions and cult potential, Night Visions didn't last. It aired randomly between 2001 and 2002, often shuffled around the schedule. Fox never seemed sure what to do with it, and without a consistent time slot or much marketing, the show faded into obscurity after just 1 season. Creepy, weird, and strangely ahead of its time. Night Visions is a forgotten gem for horror fans who like their scares with a little side of surreal. Number 3, All Souls. All Souls was Grey's Anatomy meets The Shining, a paranormal hospital drama inspired by the cult miniseries The Kingdom. The show followed Dr. Mitchell Grace, a new medical intern at All Souls Hospital, who quickly realized his new workplace was less teaching hospital and more gateway to hell. Between ghost sightings and unethical experiments conducted by the staff, things got spooky fast. It came from an unlikely pairing of names. The show's executive producers included horror-savvy Mark Frost from Twin Peaks, producer Aaron Spelling, and his longtime partner E. Duke Vincent. A bizarre blend, but critics were surprisingly into it. Eric Mink of the New York Daily News praised its atmospheric horror, saying it would set the dragging knuckles of UPN's core audience all a-tingle, which might be the most backhanded compliment in television history. Despite solid reviews, UPN didn't know what to do with the weird little ghost show. It aired just a few episodes before vanishing into the ether, which is pretty fitting for a haunted hospital drama. Number 2, Wolf Lake. Seattle cop John Kanan proposes to his girlfriend Ruby, and she happily accepts. But moments later, she's attacked, and all John finds is her severed hand. Naturally, he heads to her mysterious hometown of Wolf Lake to search for answers. What he doesn't know is that Wolf Lake is home to a secret society of werewolves, some of whom have survived the change, and now live separately from the town's regular residents in a privileged area known as The Hill. Wolf Lake was CBS's attempt to mix supernatural horror with small-town mystery. It had an eerie atmosphere, a committed cast, and more than just a few Twin Peaks vibes. But airing just days after 9/11, audiences weren't exactly in the mood for gothic werewolf drama. The show was canceled after 5 episodes. 9 were produced, and the full series eventually limped over to UPN, which aired the remaining 4 episodes in 2002. Despite its short run, Wolf Lake earned 2 Emmy nominations. Number 1, The Lone Gunman. Spun off from The X-Files, The Lone Gunman followed the fan-favorite trio of Mulder's conspiracy theory buddies as they uncovered government secrets, corporate corruption, and high-tech cover-ups. It had an impressive creative team behind it, X-Files creator Chris Carter, along with future Breaking Bad mastermind Vince Gilligan. And though the tone was lighter and more satirical than its parent show, The Lone Gunman still packed in some eerie storytelling. Case in point, the pilot episode airing on March 1st, 2001, just 6 months before 9/11. It featured a plot where rogue elements within the U.S. government hijack a commercial airliner and attempt to crash it into the World Trade Center to justify a profitable new war. Yeah, that really happened on Fox in primetime. The heroes did manage to stop the attack, but in real life, the Lone Gunman couldn't escape its own doomed fate. Ratings dropped and Fox canceled it just after 13 episodes, ending the show on a cliffhanger. That storyline was eventually resolved in a season 9 episode of The X-Files, titled Jump the Shark. Despite the short run, the series earned mostly positive reviews, and Vince Gilligan has gone on record saying it's the show he's most proud of. Unfortunately, timing is everything, and the Lone Gunman flew a little too close to reality. Love them or leave them, these 2001 misfires are part of TV history. Each one a snapshot of a wild year when networks were throwing everything at the screen to see what would stick. If you enjoyed this trip down forgotten TV lane, make sure to like, subscribe, and let us know in the comments. Which of these shows do you remember? And which one do you think deserves a second chance? Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next deep dive into the shows that time and ratings forgot.